All right, so I'm going to show you quickly what I do with my boxes on Sunday night. Regardless if I caught a rat that week and I put new bait in it, every Sunday night I refresh all the bait in my traps so they have the best chance of sitting out there for the entire week to get a rat. So I bring it in. If the trap hasn't been set, I'm going to disarm it. So what I do is I put my hand in here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover that wire right there like that. Now I can drop the trigger. I'm going to grab that bar with my hand, let it come over, shake all the seed off. Next thing I'm going to do is take this seed and dump it in a cup, and that's going to go in my bird feeders. I'm going to put some fresh seed in here so I have fresh scent coming off those seeds to help attract rats. All right, so I got most of those out of there. I'll put that aside. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check this entrance for salt. We have slugs around here, and what they'll do is they'll get in here, and they might do it Sunday night after I put fresh bait on there. They'll strip all the peanut butter off that piece of fabric that's on the trigger, and then it sits there all week without peanut butter on it. So I made up a paste. You can do salt, a little, quarter cup of salt, maybe a teaspoon of cornstarch, and a little bit of water. Put that in a bowl, throw it in the microwave, heat it up. It'll actually thicken. And then you've got a paste, and you basically just put a coating on it. I recently did this box this morning. You put a coating here, put it around the entrance there, and then a little on the inside, and then put a little bit back here, and that's going to dissuade any slugs from coming in there and stripping your bait. The rats don't care about it. They're going to enter your box regardless. So now that we've got our box emptied out, got our seed out of there, we've resalted the entrances and that back vent. We're going to go ahead and put fresh bait on our trap. I'm going to leave this as is. I have a piece of Slim Jim tied on there. I was trying something different to try to attack the rats. I do have, mostly on all my traps, I do fabric mixed in with some peanut butter. Got some of that. You put your fabric in there, smash it around, really get it saturated with that peanut butter, fold it over, and then I'll take a screwdriver like that, fold it in half, and I'll jam it in there. On these copper triggers, you can just put it in there like this, and then you smash down that top a little bit, and you have a nice piece of fabric in there for them to interact with. And then smash that. They're going to tug on that and set it off. After you have your trigger baited, I'm going to reset this. So what I'm going to do is make sure my indicator's not in the way. Bend this over, pull the trigger over, and I'm going to hold the whole trap like that. You can kind of see it like that. So I'm going to set it in here. First of all, I'm going to put this trigger out the back, or trigger indicator. This is my visualizer. Holding that bar right there. Do not let go. I'm going to slide it under those back blocks and then set the trigger. Now, this one I can hold it. This is a 3D printed trigger that I made to replace those copper ones when they wear out. But if you've got a copper one, let's demonstrate with the copper one. That's more common. You've got to hold it a little differently. So I'm going to pull that kill bar back, pull this trigger bar. I don't even know what you call that part there. Feed this through the back here. And then I'm going to set this in place, get it under those blocks. I'm going to pinch this together. I'm holding on that bar. I'm going to set this over the top. Now when I let go, if this were to set off, it's going to hit this guy. It's not going to hit my fingers. Been really successful using this block here to avoid getting my fingers in the business end. But I want to make sure this thing is centered in there so the springs aren't going to scrape the side and lose energy. Make sure there's a gap on both sides. Pinch that and then remove it. Now I've got, at the back there, you can see here, I've got my trap under those blocks. That's going to keep it put when it goes off. And then I'm going to grab some fresh seed, just a handful. And I'm going to drop some at the back. Like that. And then I put a little bit at the front. I used to not do this, but what I found is that rats are kind of like humans. They get in here, they're going to taste some of these seeds and want more. It's kind of like opening a bag of chips. We never just eat one. Face it, you're going to eat a couple and then maybe half the damn bag. Anyway, put a little bit of seed there. It's going to entice them. They're going to realize there's more seed at the back and want those, and walk through that trap and hopefully set it off. And I'll show a picture here in a sec of what it looks like when this guy is gone. When that trigger gets set off, you probably have a rat in there. And this morning I got a large female. If you Google rats and the sex, you can see on the bottom, the female, I have like a little nub about 1 inch forward from their tail on their belly, and the males have 2 bumps, which are their manhood. But if you get a female caught, you're getting a potential breeder out of the rotation that's not going to be cranking out 4 to 8 rats per batch. So that was a good one to catch. But it is good to log your kills. It actually tells you, if you're making progress. I've caught a number of them since January 1st this year. So I know I'm making progress with getting rid of these things. So anyway, after you catch one, the next thing you got to do is get rid of it. Some people toss them in their yard debris bin, and you can do that if you have a lot of yard debris going in there, because they stink after just a day of sitting there. I bury them in the backyard, and it seems like some critters are coming to get them because they seem to disappear, but I don't dig them deep enough. But I don't care, circle of life there. But if I throw them in the yard debris bin, they might smell pretty bad unless you got grass and stuff to cover them up. But the one thing that's nice about using snap traps versus poison is you're getting rid of the rat body out of your yard. If you're using poison, they're going to crawl off somewhere and die. Despite the fact it takes like 5 to 7 days to eat up their insides, which is a pretty shitty way to kill a creature. They might find their way into your basement or your crawl space or your attic or wherever, and then die there and have to be removed. I had a friend that had a rat die under his house, and it stunk up 2 of their rooms. They had to have somebody come there, crawl under the house, and find out that there was a rat that died there. If you're trapping them, you're getting rid of them. You're physically removing them from your property. So I think it's definitely a better option. And if you build these boxes, I have my video down below. You build this setting helper, you're going to keep your fingers out of dealing with the business end of that, and it goes a lot better. So I hope this is useful. Good luck.